Hi Libra, this is part 2. We were finishing up talking about the everyday mundane tasks. Now for you, this is important right now because like I said, this is asking you to get right with your everyday mundane tasks, your daily work, your service, your diet, your health, your hygiene, your ability to work, the tasks and employments that you take. Every day we do specific routines, and are these routines healthy for us? Starting off with the people, places, and things that we consume in these mundane tasks. We are consuming energy from the people, places, and things. So are those energies that we're consuming, are they routines that are healthy for us on a daily basis? Because the mundane is something that we don't pay attention to. We just do it. But before we know it, what we've been doing has become a pattern. And is the pattern a good pattern? Is the question here. Neptune is going direct on the 27th with Lilith right there with it. But more importantly, you have Halley's Comet coming by and the two orbits are like passing each other real fast. And as they do, this is also speaking to the energies that we've been noticing that are going to be changing from what started to be created in the 80s. I think 1980 through 1984, these first few energies. And there were habits and patterns we started to create then. And we've held on to them in some form. And are they good for us or are they not? Are they supporting us or are they not? Or, the point is the pattern is coming to an end. The cycle is coming to an end. So there's a lesson to be learned here. Are we learning the lesson? Are we connecting to what's been nurturing for us or not? Because Halley's Comet coming through with Neptune is going to make you start to look at the mundane tasks, the people, places, and things of the routines that you have now that do not support you. Is the point. It's going to be bringing that to your attention and making you look back at things that did versus that didn't, and where you need to redirect those mundane tasks and people, places, and things that are in your life to help support you getting right back into your inner emotional security, your self-awareness, your self-love, self-value, self-esteem, your inner child, and your creative self. Because without all of that, there's no true inner emotional security. Now, with that being said, as we jump into the 7th house, seventh house happens to be Aries for you. This is speaking to you of healing a situation that you have not yet been able to heal within either marriage, partnerships, business contracts. You have also a relationship with your open enemies. Anything you care about, you have a relationship with. You have a relationship with your loved ones, with your children, with your parents, with your working environment. But anything you care about, you have a relationship with. And this is why I say also the open enemies. And the reason I put it that way is because you have Chiron in this house. Chiron is the wounded healer, starting a brand new cycle going, well, how the fuck did this happen again? And I gotta heal this. And what about it has to be healed? Because it's a relationship zone. And it's asking you what part of the wounded healer from within, right back to that inner emotional security, those truths, self-awareness, allowing yourself to have ability to be number one for once and loving yourself. Where has these relationships not allowed that to be so? So the relationships are not in balance. And like I said, I give Libra a hard time because Libras are very bad for wanting harmony and balance so much that they will sacrifice themselves for harmony and balance. And then they don't ever get it. This whole time right now is begging you, no, have some sacrifice and commitment for yourself. And then recreate the partnerships in healthy ways. Because you're going to be acknowledging Chiron is at one end of your 7th house, but Medusa is at the other. which is Eris, trouble, toil, and strife, and where the injustice in the back of your head is still eating away at you because it's still been full of injustice. Where the trouble, toil, and strife can't let go because you're holding on. I call it the vampire syndrome. You're holding on to the idea, and the idea may not even be true. You're holding on to the idea of this, and this, and it's this. This is your fault. This is your fault. This is what I call vampire syndrome. It's like sucking the blood out of a human if you was a vampire until there's no blood left. And then you keep right on sucking. You're trying to suck the death out of something that's already dead. Trouble, toil, strife, and injustice. Chiron is trying to heal where that injustice is. Trying to put the vampire out of its misery so that the new relationship zone, the new partner zone, contracts, business contracts, all things that a relationship can be healed. But you have to have the courage to love yourself first enough to see what has to happen. Now, as you come into the 8th house, this is where the full moon is going to take place for you. The full moon is going to take place on the 12th in Taurus with Uranus, Vesta, and it's moving towards Medusa. Okay? The 8th house is the relationships rules. What are the rules within the relationships? Are there boundaries? Where are there walls within the relationships? What are the joint finances, joint resources, joint efforts? Is it actually balanced? Is it just? Or are you just taking on more responsibility than the other people? Or vice versa? And it's asking you to get right with what needs to be set right to make the relationships just, to make them, joint finances, joint resources, joint efforts. What are the rules to the relationship, and are the proper walls and boundaries set in place? Taurus is saying that it's in retrograde. Uranus is. Independence, individuality, uniqueness, freedom, self-worth, self-value, self-esteem. Again, going towards Medusa and trying to suck on all that trouble, toil, and strife where the injustice is. So you're still holding on to patterns that's kept you from being your true self-worth, self-value, self-esteem, because it's kept you from being your independent self, your independence, individuality, uniqueness, inventive, creative self, getting you right back to your inner child and allowing it to explore and help you learn a new level of yourself by getting past the roots that you still have buried, finding inner emotional security, and then placing it within the relationship. And now let's reset these rules, because this is what I need so that I can love me right. And I can't love you right if I can't love me right. This is what you're going to be noticing. At the full moon. Hey, yo, what happened? How did I get here? At the full moon on the 12th. These things are going to be coming to light. Things that are going to be being brought to light, showing you what shifts and changes need to happen in order for relationships to become healthy within your life. Now, your 9th house, there's nothing going on. So there's nothing going for you or against you. It's just saying to stick with your ethics, your morals, your spiritual urges, trust in your visions, trust in your higher self, your higher knowing. Trust your gut instinct. You already know what you need to be doing. You know what you need to be believing in. You know what your higher self is telling you. You know what the consciousness of you really wants. Listen, more or less, because you don't have anything there to influence it, good or bad. But as you come into the 10th house, your honor, your reputation, your prestige, your responsibilities to the financial success and the financial and social foundations. This is the Cancer sign. This is where the North Node is speaking to you. The North Node is trying to tell you everything that you need to learn in order to get right. But it has to be working with your self-worth, self-value, self-esteem, or the proper honor, your proper reputation and prestige is not going to find true ethics and morals. So that it can't get right if you are not standing in that self-worth, self-value, self-esteem. You have to give yourself that self-love in order for honor and reputation to truthfully bring you into a new, strong foundation financially and socially. And like I said, this has a lot to do with being responsible to yourself this month. When you come into the 11th house, there's nothing here again. So there's nothing there supporting the community that you are with, your larger groups, your friends, your wishes, your memberships that help you get to your hopes, your goals, your dreams. There's nothing there to help you, support you, or go against you. But like I said, the 4th and the 5th house has been, not the 4th and 5th house, the 6th house for you is Pisces. And that is your everyday mundane tasks. Right now, it's going to be pointing out some of those negativities that are making you see the people, places, and things that are in your community that are blocking you from getting your wishes, your dreams, your goals to come true. What you deeply desire and wish for. What part of those people work for you, and, are serving you and helping you be a even better you, mature into your true authenticity, your true place in this world, your true love for yourself and self realization itself. What part of these groups, these memberships, are supporting you on an everyday mundane task? Daily people, places, and things, and the energy you consume. Does it support you or not? Because that's part of your routines. And if they are not routines that help support your hopes, your dreams, your ambitions, and your true self-realization, then they're not really meant to be there in the first place. It would be a lesson you're not learning at that point. Then you have your 12th house happens to be Virgo. Your 12th house is where we keep our secrets in the closet, where we hide our skeletons in the closet, our grief, our sorrow, our shame, our blame, where we hide our self-deception and our self-undoing. But with Virgo, you're incredibly anal retentive about being right with it. You'll pick it away to where all you can do is put it back in the closet, because you want so much to create that balance, to create truth. So you'll pick it into such detail that you'll drive yourself mad with the secrets, sorrow, shame, and blame. But then you keep putting it back in the closet because you don't want to really deal with it. The whole reason it's hard for you to heal this cycle is because you keep putting it back in the closet. If you actually give yourself the self-love of finding out the truth in there, then you can come out of the closet and start creating your soulfulness in a whole brand new light. I love you guys. Bye.